I'm Larry Taunton, Executive Director of Fixed Point Foundation. Last week we issued a video blog on the heels of the news that Christopher Hitchens had been diagnosed with cancer. Our intent in that blog was simply to say that we hoped Christopher Hitchens would recover speedily, and we also expressed a desire to see Christians pray for him. We didn't see this as particularly controversial. It is, after all, what Christians do. But it's interesting to see the level of venom that's been expressed towards that sentiment, not just simply in the YouTube responses, but in the culture at large. There's a larger cultural debate over this idea: should people or shouldn't they pray for Christopher Hitchens? Well, we wanted to offer a little bit of clarity on that sentiment, at least for us. We can't speak for everyone, certainly, but we can say something about what our intent was in that. First of all, Christopher Hitchens is somebody that we've come to know personally here at Fixed Point Foundation, and I can assure you that our desire to pray for him is both sincere and is not one that's come about simply as a result of his diagnosis of cancer. We have prayed for Christopher Hitchens many times before, and I will tell you that in my conversations with Christopher, I have never heard from him a sense that he was offended by that notion. Now, he may very well believe that we just as well be praying to the Easter Bunny, but he's never expressed to us a sentiment, either before the cancer or during it, a sentiment that this was offensive to him. So I think it's worth saying something about that. Also, I think it's worth commenting on some of the things that Christians themselves have been saying. Some of it good, but some of it decidedly unbiblical. There has been a level of hatred even that's been expressed towards Christopher Hitchens. Some say that you shouldn't pray for him. This is God's judgment on him, or others wishing him anything but the best. Well, we don't think that's a particularly Christian attitude. Rather, we think that God would have us pray for all people. And it may very well be that the atheists who will see this will say, well, that's just so much nonsense. Listen, I can appreciate the sentiment. There are those who have expressed a desire to do things for me at other times in my life, that I maybe light a candle on my behalf, or maybe even something as simple as wishing me luck. I'm not offended by the notion, even if I don't necessarily believe that those things do me a whole lot of good. On the contrary, I suppose it pleased me to know that somebody cared enough about me to wish me well, even if the manner in which they expressed that wasn't one that I thought was actually going to do me any particular good. So I guess we would want to respond to those people who would suggest that Christopher Hitchens would be deeply offended by the notion that we would pray for him, by saying, if that's the case, he's never told us that. So again, we would appeal to Christians to pray for him. We hope that you do the same for your loved ones, that you would do the same for anyone who moves in your own sphere of influence, who is facing some particular challenge or difficulty. I also want to say something about this, something else that in that particular video blog may not have been as clear as it might have been. I was at no point suggesting that Christopher Hitchens was on the verge of some sort of conversion. I don't pretend to know his heart or his mind on these things. I had made the offhanded remark, wouldn't it be wonderful if when he recovered that we used him again in one of our debates, but this time representing the Christian position. In saying that, I wasn't trying to suggest that he was close to that. I simply have no idea. Just simply wishing a desire, expressing rather a desire. So again, we wish Christopher Hitchens very well, and we hope that the level of vitriol that's been expressed toward him, both by Christians and by non-Christians, that would be lessened, and that people would be much more thoughtful about the questions concerning after this life. It's worth reflecting on whatever your position is. Is the Christian position the right one? Well, you have to decide that for yourself. Is it some other way? Is there nothing? These are all things that as human beings we need to reflect on deeply. So we hope you'll do so. Thank you.